I wonder if you've ever heard that people are made in the image of God. You know, when I hear that, it makes me think, well, gosh, I was made in the image of God. So when I look in the mirror, that I must look a little bit like God. And if I look a little bit like God, well, then when you look in the mirror, you look a little bit like God too. And when people all over the world look in the mirror, they all look a little bit like God. It's kind of amazing to think of that, to think that all people everywhere can look like God all at the same time. All people of all ages and sizes, of all skin color and hair colors, of all eye colors, of all abilities. We all look a little bit like God. So it's kind of interesting that we often hear God, or probably most often hear God referred to using he and him pronouns. And I guess I wanted us to think beyond that today. So I am going to share with you a new book that has come out that is wonderful. This book is called Mother God. And so we are going to read this together. And I hope that it will help all of us to expand our minds and our hearts to embrace just how amazing God is, and how we really can't just put one image or one gender or one size or one skin color on God, because God is all of us. So let's share in this book together. Mother God by Teresa Kim Pecinovsky, illustrated by Koa Lee. And we are sharing this with permission of the publisher, Beaming Books. Mother God. You know God the Father, but God is your mother too. You are made in her image. She is making all things new. Waiting for new life to begin, God is a mother in labor. She takes deep breaths until the birth, rejoicing with friend and neighbor. Throughout the day and night, God wakes to nurse the infant at her side. She snuggles her baby gently until he closes his eyes. When baby tumbles on the floor, God pulls off each tiny sock. She holds her arms out wide, and the baby learns to walk. God is Sophia Wisdom, teaching what is true and right. Wisdom works, creates, orders, and plays. She calls us with joy and delight. Over the waters of creation, God is the spirit who hovers. She forms the earth into a bed, and the wide sky its covers. God is a mother hen who gathers chicks under her wings. She plays hide and seek in soft grass, behind trees and quiet springs. She protects her cubs from danger. God, the great mother bear, as fierce as she is tender, she guards them in her care. God is a lurking leopard, secretive, skilled, and strong. Teaching her young to swim and climb, she roars, and they tag along. With a huge supply of flour, God kneads and bakes good bread. She feeds her entire neighborhood. They feast, and all are fed. God is a skillful seamstress who stitches and sews thread together. She makes clothes for rain, snow, and sun, caring for you in all kinds of weather. Granny, Baba, Mioni. God is a woman with gray hair. She passes down stories of old, rocking softly in a chair. She is the God who sees you. God weeps, mourns, and cries. She comforts you through the longest night, keeping watch until sunrise. She quiets us with her songs, singing lullabies in the night. God, our nurturing mother, wraps us in holy moonlight. God is your loving mother. You are made in her image too. God calls you beloved. She is making all things new. I hope that you enjoyed this book just as much as I do, and I hope that some of those images and those ideas, which are all based on things that we read in the Bible, that some of those will stick with you, and they'll help us to consider just how big and how amazing God is. So please pray with me. God, you are amazing. Simply amazing that you can be like all of us and that all of us can be like you. God, help us to remember that all people are your people and that you love all people. And God, help us just to remember to look for you everywhere, to see you in every face we meet. And God, help us to love each other, to love ourselves, and to love you. Amen.